All right, let's talk about a grape that has been on a truly wild ride. We are diving into the story of Carignan, a name that, once pretty much dominated vineyards all over the world, then kind of faded into the background and is now staging one of the most exciting comebacks in the entire world of wine. So yeah, let's get right into its story.
So, could this be the greatest comeback story in wine? I know, it's a bold question, but I think as we follow Carignan's journey, from being this humble, hardworking grape to a celebrated star, you might just be convinced by the end.
I mean, picture this. At its peak in the 20th century, Carignan was the #1 most planted grape in all of France. But its incredible productivity, the very thing that made it so popular, well, that became its curse. It got this reputation for simple, kind of rustic bulk wine. But that is nowhere near the end of the story.
Okay, so to really understand the comeback, we have to understand the journey. Let's take a look at how Carignan went from being this indispensable workhorse to being almost completely overlooked.
So its story starts way back in Aragon, Spain, where it's still known as Carignana. Then, after that devastating phylloxera epidemic just wiped out French vineyards in the 19th century, Carignan was planted everywhere in the south of France because it was just so tough and productive. By the middle of the 20th century, it was #1. But, quantity doesn't always equal quality. And pretty soon, it was seen as the engine behind Europe's infamous wine lake, basically this massive surplus of cheap, uninteresting wine that came from just way too much overproduction.
The shift is just dramatic. I mean, look at this. The old reputation was for wine that was kind of harsh, a little diluted, from vines that were just pushed to produce way too much. But the new reality, driven by a whole new generation of winemakers, it's one of complexity and elegance. We're talking concentrated flavors that tell you exactly where they were grown. It's a complete 180.
So what caused this incredible change? Well, it all comes down to a renaissance, and it's centered on one absolutely crucial element: old vines. This is the moment where the focus snapped from quantity back to quality. And make no mistake, this comeback was not an accident. As this quote captures so perfectly, it was a conscious effort. You had these passionate, visionary producers who saw the hidden potential in all these forgotten vineyards. They basically started a rescue mission for this underdog grape. So what is this magic of old vines all about? Well, think of it this way. As a vine gets older, it naturally produces less fruit. It's not trying to make a ton of grapes anymore. Instead, it concentrates all its energy into fewer, much more flavorful grapes. And its deep roots, they act like these little straws, pulling up complex minerals from deep in the soil, what we call terroir. This gives the wine this incredible depth, with notes of dark fruit, spice, and this perfect natural balance of ripeness and acidity.
And this comeback isn't just happening in one little corner of the world. Let's take a quick world tour to see how different landscapes, different terroirs, are shaping this one grape into totally distinct, delicious wines.
Okay, check this out. In Priorat, Spain, you've got this black slate soil that gives the wine an intense power and minerality. Then hop over to the Languedoc in France, and the wild garrigue herbs all around the vineyard actually infuse the wine with these savory notes. Cross over to Sardinia, and the coastal sandy soils create a fresher, more aromatic wine with its distinct salty tang. And then all the way over in Chile's Maule Valley, old vines and granite soils give you wines with vibrant acidity and really fresh, earthy fruit. It's the same grape, but 4 totally different expressions. Amazing. Okay, this is all fascinating stuff, but how do you actually find and enjoy one of these fantastic new wave Carignans? Let's get practical. Let's talk about how to get a great bottle into your glass.
It's simpler than you might think. First, look for those key regions we just talked about. Priorat is a fantastic place to start if you want a powerful, mineral-driven style. Second, keep an eye out for old vines on the label. That's a huge clue that the producer is focused on quality over quantity. And finally, think about food.
And oh man, Carignan is such a good food wine. Its bright acidity and solid structure make it a perfect match for rich, savory dishes. I'm talking grilled lamb, hearty stews like a good cassoulet, Mediterranean dishes just loaded with herbs, or even a simple platter of cured meats and hard cheeses like manchego. It can absolutely handle bold flavors.
So we've seen its past and we've seen its present, but what's really exciting, I think, is Carignan's future. It turns out this really old grape is uniquely suited to be a grape for our time.
And this brings us to a really crucial point. In an era of climate change, Carignan isn't just interesting, it's becoming essential. Its natural resilience is making it a vital player in the future of sustainable winemaking.
It's almost like it was built for the future. Carignan evolved in the hot, dry climate of the Mediterranean, so it is naturally drought-resistant. Its late ripening cycle means it can handle summer heat without getting all jammy and overripe. And all of this adds up to it being a more sustainable choice, one that requires less water and less intervention in a warming world.
So, from a forgotten workhorse to a terroir-driven star, Carignan has absolutely proven its resilience. Given its quality, its incredible history, and how well-suited it is for our planet's future, the question isn't really about its comeback anymore. It's about its role going forward. So, is this ancient underdog the future of your wine glass? I think it's time to find out. Cheers.